Hi, YouTube. It's Angela. We're going to take a chakra journey today. We're going to pull from the Chakra Oracle, this deck here, and then clarify with some of the Zen Tarot cards. So I'm going from root to crown, and we're going to, I have pulled all the chakra cards already, so we know what that journey will be like for realigning our energy. And the first card I pulled in the first chakra is complacency. So this is for those areas in your life where there's inaction, or maybe sort of taking things on and allowing yourself to get sort of caught up in someone else's agenda, but you can't really find a way out. Kind of like, I'm just going to get used to this because this is how it is, right? This is how it needs to be. But what this card is kind of asking is that you don't do that, right? Don't give up on your ideal way of how you see them. Don't give up on your dreams, right? But it will take some shedding and sort of realigning, maybe even losing some connections in order to redefine what it is you want for you. Walk away from the things that aren't resonating and follow only the things that are. It's that life force energy that's present and available to all of us, but that we don't always, we get complacent about it, and we just sort of let life take us on roller coasters, when if we pause to root ourselves there, remember this is first chakra energy, and with the intention of making movements only that are on our path, only that resonate with our soul, then that creates a fresh, a fresh path forward. And then what it may create as well as we move to the second chakra energy is a little more confidence, because you're following what's resonating for you. It may create a little more connection to your inner knowing, right? The more you follow what resonates, the more you're cemented in that, and you realize, I'm doing what's best for me, right? And there's no need for me to prove myself here. I am doing what's best for me, and there is no other explanation needed, right? That gets you firmly down your path a little farther. Then we move to third chakra energy, which is the solar plexus. This is your personal empowerment. This is the space where your expression comes from. With that chakra below that, the inner knowing and the sort of self-worth, it's buoyed here in this third chakra, and you get to express out, this is who I am, right? And the card I pulled for that area, for that chakra, is facade. So this is asking you to sort of drop the facade. Like if we started out with this sort of immovable kind of droopy kind of energy, kind of like, I don't care, I'll just do whatever they all say to do, right? You're not taking ownership of your path. And so being able to get yourself to where I'm only going to follow what's right for me, that helps you as well to be able to just not really say anything you don't mean, not go along with things that don't feel right. You're going to be able to sort of recover your true self in this practice, and realign and refocus your journey forward toward those dreams, or toward that evolution and the new layers of yourself that are uncovering. You'll be able to fit right into it, instead of holding back and thinking, oh, but they don't think this is right, and whatever, my authority figures, or my loved ones, and they don't feel my path is right. But it is right if it's yours, if it's truthfully yours, right? Then we head to the heart chakra, and I got grief. So I'm thinking that for some of us, in this realigning of the lower chakras, of this sort of cementing who I am, and going forward only with that energy, there may be a sense of loss, of longing for what was. It felt more secure to be sort of complacent, maybe, and following other people's leads, and foregoing our own desires and the things that resonate with us, foregoing that to keep the peace or to stay part of this group or whatever. And when you start to really advocate and stand for yourself and be grounded in your truth, it may create like a not a regret, but just kind of like a sense of loss and letting go of the old. But it's okay, because as you begin to heal and move forward with love again, it all ends up for your best, obviously, because it's from your own your own direction, your inner being's direction. So hanging on to that feeling of loss and, oh, I wish it was like that again, it felt safer to just go along with everyone. That prevents your progress. So this is an opportunity to allow for that transition, allow for this new version of you coming through, and then heal and move forward with love. Then we get to the throat chakra, and boy, do I love this, because after we've aligned these lower chakras and kind of gone, you know what, I'm not doing this in my own way, like I need to proceed in a way that's right for me. And you've realigned those lower chakras, and now you're ready to move forward in a heart-centered way. I got expansion. Man, did that come at a good time, right? Now because you've been able to let go, now you're able to expand. You're able to leave behind people that are critical of your dreams, leaving behind the people that say, how could you ever think you're going to do that? You're never going to make it, right? Well, you can, and it is possible, right? Especially if you're following your own instinct, the things that resonate for you. You can create new powerful alliances. You can really get your feet firmly planted in those intentions. And because this is a throat chakra too, it's really communicating out that this is the new me. This is who I will attach myself to now. The people that were holding me back and keeping me complacent, it's not working for me, right? And let me just pause and say, this whole spread can be for something external, like a project or a dream that you have in the world, something that you're creating. And it can also be something internal that you're sort of realigning and reworking a new outlook on things, a new perception, an evolved, a higher consciousness state of approaching and viewing the world. We all try to get there and do this work, and this is just another way that we can kind of apply some of these concepts so that we are living fully authentically from what is right for us. Okay. And then I go to the sixth chakra, the third eye, or intuition, and I got forgiveness. So this is another way, like with the grief card, letting those things off of your heart, letting them be in the past so that you can create from a fresh perspective. And the forgiveness is important as well. It's mostly about, my intuition says, this is mostly about forgiving yourself, so that the expansion that we had here in the throat chakra can take place. Letting go of the I should, I'm just going to be compliant with what everyone needs. Letting go of that fully on a psychic level, on an intuitive level, and being able to really sort of clear the path, for you to proceed forward in the way that is best for you. And then the crown chakra, the final one, I got the wolf of white light instinct, moving with the light. This is trust. This is, being right in the sort of unfiltered light energy that the crown chakra provides if we've cleared, right, if we've aligned the lower chakras, and being able to really move forward in a way that is solely ours. And we went from this complacency vibe all the way to that. And it's kind of the same thing. This was the start of it, kind of saying, you know, I'm not going to align myself with things or people or ideas or plans that aren't fully resonating for me, you know, from a lower chakra perspective. And then when you work through all these energy centers and all the chakras, you end up purely moving on instinct and what's right for you. So now I'm going to go back through this journey again and pull some Zen cards to sort of clarify them. So, you know, we might as well just make this reading a little bit longer. Let's see, I got 3, I got to get 7, 4. Yeah, I think that for all of us, for a lot of us, we get caught in the needs of others. You know, it's pretty natural as a human being, and it's necessary in some situations, you know, being part of a group, being part of a family. It's, woo, they're just flying out. Okay, I got them all. Wow. Yeah, so it's easy to get ourselves in, you know, sort of that complacent, going along with the program kind of energy, because it does keep the peace, right, in our 3D world. But there is also a disconnect that can happen within us when we are too much in that pleasing, serving vibration. So this is just sort of a reminder and a way to sort of clean house, get our energy aligned, still be giving, still be compliant, but not complacent, not accepting, you know, certain moves or certain requests that are off our alignment, just not going there, right? Not fighting it and not telling others, no, you can't, how dare you tell me this is, but just quietly realigning and moving forward with what resonates for you. So under the complacency card, I pulled moment to moment. This is our reminder to, and I think this came up in the pause at the well reading this week too, is the moment to moment card. Really important to stay rooted, right? And like keep your feet under you in every moment. And as you're starting to sort of carve out, you know, the old ways and let them go behind, and you're creating, you know, a new path for you, remind yourself, this very moment now is all there is. And then the next moment, it will be all there is. This figure is walking along this rainbow river and, you know, really just trusting that, see how there's like a stone under his foot? His eyes are closed. He's going to take that next step when he feels it's ready and when the universe is supporting him. But he doesn't ever have to open his eyes and look and say, where is my support? Where is that coming? He trusts it because he's planted in this very moment. And that's a beautiful card to have on the root chakra level, because it reminds us, pace yourself, take your time, don't jump ahead, don't fall behind, right? I love it. Okay, and now with the self-worth card here, the second chakra, reminding us to, well, there's nothing to prove, first of all. We're going forward with what's right for us only. That increases your self-worth when you really are aligned with that. And the Zen card I pulled, this is almost hysterical. The Zen card I pulled to go with that is projections. This is, you know, other people's needs that they have of you. I need you to behave in this way for me to remain happy, right? Well, that depletes your self-worth. So the guidance here, again, is to find that balance where you can have your own needs addressed and on board, and, you know, also find a way to get along with others, right? There doesn't have to be a fight or a, you know, some people may get disappointed, and this may result in some loss of some connections. But the most important connection, right, is with yourself. So as you shore that up and feel stronger in your own being, others who needed you to be complacent, who needed you to go with the program, may not be able to hang on if you begin this evolution for yourself. But I love that, because it's just a reminder that my needs, you know, people want to say, oh, it's selfish to say my needs come first, but they have to. How can they not, right? that's when you're most equipped to guide and help others and to be there for others, is when your house is kept, clean and your alignment is firm. Under the facade card, this third chakra of being able to, drop the falseness, or drop those walls that you have up and just be in your truth. I got maturity. This is the wisdom that you've gathered through this point in your life. This figure is well rested in that, in this moment, knowing, it's all working out. It always has. And if I stay true to myself here, my inner being knows that I will have success in one way or another. So that's just sort of a firm affirmation of that card, is as you have experience after experience, you start to realize, there is nothing really to fight here, except, there is nothing to fight here. There's only moving toward the things that feel right, that, that resonation we talked about. There's only allowing for those things to be on my path so that I can move forward in my authentic being. With the grief card and this letting go of the old and thinking, oh, I long for what was, right? We talked about that earlier. I pulled the master. So you're getting this, the feelings that we have and the sort of forlorn, and it's natural. It's part of being human. And as the master, you can sort of find that separation, not disconnection, but that autonomy for your own being within any situation, right? There's a calm confidence in that. And even in the moments of grief and loss and longing, you can still remain fully supported and fully connected to spirit and to what's right for you as you move through. And you're getting this more and more. It's that full alignment that you're really learning. Then with the expansion card, this card of, creating new connections and new ways to move down that path, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, I pull completion. So it's like, you can be, remember we talked about we're creating new, we're offering up sort of new, maybe connections, but we're using that forgiveness to release ourselves from hanging on to the old ways of being in order to expand. And that may also include the loss, like we talked about earlier, of some connections. We talked about that with the projections card. If people need you to keep behaving a certain way for them to stay happy, it's like not your job, right? And you may have to lessen those connections or lose them altogether. And I feel that this completion card coming right under the moving forward with new connections and new awarenesses kind of ties into that. So, and then it brings us back to the heart chakra with grief, because we may lose some connections on the process, but it's always for you, if you can remember that. And then with the intuitive, the third eye card, forgiveness, I got receptivity. This is staying open. This is being able to release the old energies that aren't resonating, forgive yourself for hanging on to them for as long as you did, and then staying open to what's coming. That release and that shedding of, that cling that we all do, clinging to what is because I'm afraid of what's to come, or what if I change, I'm going to lose my friends, or I'm going to lose, my sense of self, my strong sense of self. But it's in transition. You're moving into a new version of yourself, and staying open to the support that comes from the universe and from those around you in order to make that transition and that conversion happen is really important. Those connections you have that really still want the best for you, whenever you go through any of these changes and little points of evolution in your life, people can remain constant even as you change. It's the ones that, like I said, with the projections, that need you to stay the same or their world gets rocked, they have their own personal work to do, right? So that's that message there. And then with the instinct card underneath that, I got ordinariness. This is just sort of, okay, we did the work, we did all this realigning, we're continuing to do the work. It's not like it's all going to get done and it's now everything's perfect, but we're continuing the awareness of all of these steps to create a clearing and a realignment within us so that we're moving forward only in our natural state and in what's best for us. You know, when we have that sort of wolf of the white light energy and we're following our pure instinct, unfiltered, right, light, we get to sort of think, okay, I'm going to move with my intuition when the time is right. But in the meantime, and when it's, you know, when it's not time to make a move, I'm going to go back to my, you know, sort of everyday life, ordinariness, just keep things steady. You know, this is that chop wood, carry water kind of vibration that the Buddha teaches. And it's more, you know, keep the production going, right? Keep your life rolling, keep moving. And then these higher energies are clearing and becoming more clear as far as what direction to take. Your instinct is on board. And then that repetitive sort of day in, day out vibe is working in concert with your reaching for your dreams and moving toward those things that, you know, that you're reaching for. So I love how this came out. I think that, you know, a good chakra reset is good for all of us every now and then. And we can follow this advice kind of at any time, whenever we're feeling a challenge or weighted down or immovable, you know, immobile, like with the start of that complacency. But we moved from immobile to free and pure light moving through, you know, moving forward. So I love that journey. I hope you enjoyed it too. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.